Permission. Okay. We'll begin. Sorry, I have an online session. It's okay, no? We'll begin with the prayer. Om, Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunatu, Saha Viryam Sarvavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkhad Bhag Bhave. We pray for the happiness of one and all. May everyone be peaceful and comfortable at all levels of the personality. May we see that which is auspicious and divine. May there be no suffering anywhere. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. I hope I'm audible, right?
Yes,
Great.
yes.
Thank you. Okay, wonderful. I'll just open the text.
गिरेगा वो फोन।
Sorry, I'm just sharing the text. right? I will chant verse 19 once.
य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारम् यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ
Ubhau
न
tau
विजानीतः
vijanitaha
नायं
nayam
हन्ति न
hanti na
हन्यते
hanyate. He who regards this as slayer and he who thinks this is slain, both of them are ignorant. This neither slays nor is slain. So this verse gives a very beautiful insight into the nature of God. We blame God for different things, and sometimes we praise God for different things. We say, when your desires are fulfilled, be grateful, uh, because that an attitude of gratitude towards the divine helps us in reducing the ego. And reducing the ego is like a purpose of life. The more egoistic we are, the more agitated we become. The less egoistic we are, the more peaceful and more divine we become. So, an attitude of gratitude towards the divine for all the good things that are happening in our life will reduce our ego. But God neither does good to us nor bad to us. Bad to us. The divine God, Self, Atman, Brahman is beyond good and bad. Uh, Good and bad happens in our life based on our own past karma. Karma is thought, word, and deed. What we think, what we say, what we do can be negative and positive. Based on our negative and positive karma, we will face good and bad in life. This works with mathematical precision. It's a divine law, it cannot go wrong. The role of the divine is to ensure that laws of life are functioning with mathematical precision. So then what role does God play in the verses? This God, this the self, the Atman, neither slays nor can be slain. It is like petrol in a car. There are 3 points. God plays what role God plays in human life is exactly like petrol in a car. There are 3 points. First point is that petrol has no desire to go anywhere or not go anywhere. Please don't do all this. If you open the petrol tank and ask petrol, do you want to go to office? It will not give any answer. Oh, so you don't want to go to office? It will not give any answer. Petrol has no desire to go anywhere or not go anywhere, but without petrol, no car moves. Similarly, the divine, the self, the Atman has no desire to do anything or not do anything. It is an inactive divine principle, but without the power of the self, even the finger will not move up and down. Right now, you are listening to me. Right now, I'm able to use my organs of speech. Whatever action and perception, emotion and thought is happening is because there is a divine life spark which is functioning. That's the first point. Secondly, cars are all different. There is a Honda, there is a Toyota, there is a Mercedes, there is a Ferrari. The performance of all the cars are different, but petrol is one and the same. Now, don't say power petrol and all that. Cooperate. Every example has a 1 or 2 points of comparison. Don't go beyond the scope. Petrol is same, cars are all different, performance are different. Similarly, we find a wide variety of human beings. Some human beings are extremely sacrificial, some are extremely selfish, some are extremely lazy, some are extremely dynamic, some are brilliant like C.V. Raman or Ramanujam or Rabindranath Tagore or a Satyajit Ray. Some are ordinary people running around in the world. Some one person is a mad person just lying in the streets, not doing anything. So different calibers of human beings, different human beings are having different output. The ratio of sattva, rajas, and tamas is different. Some are lazy, some are brilliant, some are very agitated and stressed out. But the self in all human beings in one and the same. The body is different, the mind is different, the intellect is different. The feelings and thoughts and actions are all different, but the enlivening principle, the electricity, is one and the same. The self same power divine enlivens all other living creatures. Self which enlivens you to see is the same self which enlivens the sun to shine. Same self which enlivens us to breathe. Is it not the same air? Is it not that which makes the air blow all over? Does it not is not the divine responsible for oxygen in the air? The same self which makes the fishes to swim is the same self which makes the birds to fly, is the same self which makes earth produce vegetation. So the splash of divinity is everywhere, outside and inside. The self, same power divine, enlivens all heterogeneous variety of beings. Petrol is same in all cars. The Atman, the self, is same in all beings. Second point. First point, self has no desire, but without self, no action is possible. Second point, self is the same in all living creatures. Thirdly, self is samasta sakshi, just a neutral witness. Just as petrol is a neutral witness to all types of driving. You can drive safely and reach your destination. You can drink and drive and you meet crash. You can't blame the petrol, neither do you need to go and tank petrol. Petrol is just a neutral witness, a sakshi. Similarly, the Atman is samasta saksham, an absolute witness to everything that is happening, like the sun. Without the sun, it's all night, dark, nothing is happening. When the sun comes out, there is the celebration of a marriage. Few minutes later, there is a funeral procession where somebody has passed away. There is the grief of a funeral procession. The sun has nothing to do with the celebration or the grief. It is just a sakshi, neutral witness. Similarly, the Atman. So you can't file a case against the petrol pump. You gave me bad petrol, therefore I met with an accident. Neither do you need to go and thank the petrol that, oh, I reached home safely. Petrol, without petrol, nothing happens, but petrol is just a witness. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, we need to develop an attitude of gratitude towards the grace of God to humble our ego. Yes, you are doing what you're doing, but not without the grace of God. The bulb cannot say, I'm giving light, forgetting the electricity. So when we become egoistic, we are more agitated, less divine. When we are less egoistic, we are more peaceful, we are attuned to the divine, as it were. Um, so therefore, we develop a attitude of gratitude to reduce the ego, but God is directly not doing anything. So this verse is very, very clear in that sense. It is saying, it is saying, uh, God is not killing nor can be killed. If you consider God is doing it, you are ignorant. It doesn't neither slays or is slain. And this verse is taken from the Kathopanishad. Kathopanishad was it predates the Gita, and I think I told you the story of Nachiketa while maybe in the previous class I told you the story of Nachiketa. I'm not repeating it unless somebody's not heard it. Then you can tell me. We'll chant verse 20.
न जायते म्रियते
Were you able to hear the chanting? Can anybody reply?
Yes.
Okay, great, fantastic. So verse 20 is also from the Kathopanishad. It says, this is not born, nor does it die, nor having been having been, will ever cease to be. This is unborn, ajaha, eternal, changeless, ancient. It is not killed when the body is killed. Very nice, very important verse containing a lot of knowledge. This is not born, nor does it die. Definitely, it cannot relate to the body because we know everybody who is born will die. The body dies. The body will go through birth, growth, disease, decay, and death. The more you keep the body active, the more active the body will be. There are people who run marathons at 96. There is one guy who's, I don't know, 120 years old. He does yoga. Our Swamiji has played cricket till 92. He was driving till 95. So if you keep the body active, if you give it the right type of food, if you give it the right type of exercise, body will be fit. But birth, growth, disease, decay, and death is inevitable. So when he is saying this is not born, not die, uh, definitely he is not referring to the body. Even the mind and intellect, there is a birth and death of the mind and intellect. So he is referring it to the self. The self is never born, nor does it die, nor having been will ever cease to be, which is eternal. Now we will take up each of the qualities, but now why these qualities? The ultimate message that Vedanta is giving us is it is introducing ourselves to ourselves for generation after generation, perhaps birth after birth, janma after janma. We have been believing ourselves to be this individuality. I have been believing myself to be Basap. Now, what is the unique knowledge or information that has been given to us, which I have received from the scriptures or we have heard from the Guru? I am not Basap, but I am playing the role of Basap. I need to find out my true identity. When an actor is playing his role on stage, if he forgets his true identity, he will get totally involved in the happenings of the stage, and thereafter, whatever happens on stage happens to him. But if an actor remembers who he is, I am Shah Rukh Khan or I am Tom Cruise, and then he plays his role, by remembering his true identity, he participates fully in life, but he is never affected. Similarly, we get affected in life because we have lost our true identity. We have assumed a false identity of this individuality. So now, when we are told you are not this body, mind, intellect, you are not this individuality, you are the self, and the law of life is as you think, so you become. By thinking about the self, you will become the self. By thinking of the body, we remain physical. By thinking of the mind, we remain emotional. By thinking of thoughts and ideas, we remain intellectual. If I believe I am Basap, I will remain with the individuality. Now comes the sadhana. Sadhana is to constantly remind yourself you are not Hitesh, but you are playing the role of Hitesh. You are not Poonam, playing the role of Poonam. Who are you? You are the self. Now reflect and contemplate upon the self. How to do it? When we do not know anything, we cannot think of it. If I say think of Chiklak 2, you cannot think of Chiklak 2 because you don't know what Chiklak 2 is. But when I say Chiklak 2 is a fruit, it looks like an apple, tastes like a banana, color is like a strawberry. Now that you know two, three things about Chiklak 2, and I am saying Chiklak 2 is the best fruit, you can conceive and think about it. If you keep on thinking about it, you will get a desire of Chiklak 2, which you don't have to do. But we need to gain back our true nature. The nature of the self is ever blissful. Satchit Anand, Satchit Sukham, Param Anand, Param Sukham. So if we want the real source of happiness, we need to attune to the self. We need to discover ourselves. Therefore, these verses, which is giving pointers to what is the self, are extremely, extremely helpful. One second. It's trying to. Okay. These pointers are extremely, extremely helpful. Always remember these pointers are not Brahman. It doesn't, no intellectual concept can capture Brahman, but it takes our mind away from worldly affairs, from the body, mind, intellect to something beyond the world. We get some idea as to what that Brahman could be. Ajaha. I would recommend understand and memorize the Sanskrit word also. Ajaha, unborn. Body, mind, intellect is born, it dies. Everything in the world has a birth and a death, but the Supreme Self is unborn. It is not born. If it is not born, it cannot die. It is deathless, it is birthless, it is beginningless, it is endless, it is infinite. Nitya, eternal. So with reference to time, it is eternal. We don't understand what is eternal. Eternal is something like reality. It was there in the past, it is there in the present, it is there, it will continue to be there in the future. All that we can conceive and think doesn't fit into the um, doesn't fit into eternal. Everything that we can conceive is ephemeral, temporary. It has a beginning and an end. So Brahman is, with reference to time, eternal. It is the all-pervading, eternal reality. Ajaha, Nitya, Sashvataha, changeless. Body is changing, our feelings are changing. What were your feelings when you were a little child? What were your feelings when you were a teenager? What were your feelings now? What will your feelings be when you are an elderly person? Similarly, the world is in a constant flux of change. The seasons are changing. In fact, if you go into any matter, all the atoms and protons and neutrons and all that things that is science, all these cells are dividing, multiplying, dying, new cells are born. By the time you say, this is me, you're constantly changing. Over a period of 7 years, every cell in the body changes. Everything is in a dynamic state, nothing is static. So, day is changing, seasons are changing, nothing is constant. Governments are changing, opportunities are changing, my mood of the mind is changing, everything in a constant flux of change. And what is interesting is you cannot resist a change unless there is a changeless factor. A plane, a flight, which is probably going at 300 miles per hour speed, or I don't know, 500 miles per hour speed. If you're sitting on the plane and there is no clouds in the sky, if you look outside, you will feel the plane is not moving. Inside the plane, everything is still. Outside also, you look, you will not feel it is moving unless there are clouds. Only with reference to something changeless, you can notice change. You cannot see a movie projected on a screen without the screen. The screen is constant, substratum. Upon the screen, the entire movie is superimposed. All the things that are changed, all the moving pictures, the pictures cannot project itself without changeless substratum, which is the screen. The white screen is always there. We may miss it, but we are lost in the picture. We are lost in the movie. But behind the movie, there is a changeless substratum. That changeless substratum is Atman. With reference to that changeless factor, we are able to resist the change. Atman is one changeless entity. So, in the Ishavasya Upanishad, it says, all that you can see, all that you can conceive is all changing. And anything that is changing is false. That which is changeless is the only reality. Now, all our experiences will fall under the category of changing. But that, listen carefully, that consciousness, that awareness that makes you aware of your experiences is changeless. Experiences are changing day and night, pleasure and pain, joy and sorrow, honor and dishonor. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, feeling, thinking. All these experiences are changing. But that which makes you conscious, aware of the experiences is changeless. That Shaswataha is the Atma. That Puranaha, ancient, again with reference to time. Ancient and eternity both are same. Same means similar lines. What is time? What is distance? There is no distance at one point. What is the distance in Bombay? You cannot ask. What is the distance in Bombay? Can anybody answer? No. What is the distance between Goa and Bombay? Yes, you can answer. What is the distance between Pune and Bombay? 160 kilometers. You can answer. You need 2 points to measure distance. Similarly, what is time? Time is the interval between two experiences from the beginning of the class to the end of the class, from last week's class to this week's class, from the time I went to Bombay till the time I go to Bombay again. When you take two experiences, you can measure time. 1 month, 1 week, 1 hour, 1 minute. So now can you conceive the first experience? First experience. What is the time in first experience? You cannot say what is the time in first experience. To measure time, you need two experiences. Time is the interval between two experiences, just as distance is the interval between 2 points. Time started in the second experience. Therefore, the unit of time is seconds. 60 seconds make a minute, not 63rd or 64th or 61st. 60 seconds. Why second? Because time started in the second experience. But Brahman, our Mr. Brahman, Mr. Self, Mr. Atman, he was there in the first experience. He was there before the first experience, ancient, Puratana. He was older than the oldest. You can say like that. Puranaha, ancient. It, it is it is always there. So now you've got some pointers. What is Brahman? Brahman, Atman, the Supreme Self. Now don't think of Brahman, Atman as something which is outside you. Your own self, my own self is that Atman. Think about it. These classes are an opportunity to attune to the self, and rest of the time engage yourself in self purification activities. Chitta Shuddha, Chitta Shuddhi. Become a good human being and then tell yourself, perhaps I am not a human being. My true identity is the self. I am playing the role of a human being. I'm not a bird or a cat or a dog or a rat. You're a human being with a particular script in your life. You're just playing a role. Don't forget you are the self. How to think of the self? Self is something which is not born, nor will it die. It will never cease to be. You will always be with the self. That conscious principle, that awareing principle that makes you aware, that makes you conscious. That is never born, never dies. It is eternal, it is changeless, it is ancient. It is not killed when the body is killed. So therefore, if you take the stance, I am the body, whatever is happening to the body will happen to you. Body is hot, you say, I am hot. Body is cold, you say, I am cold. Body is in pain, I am in pain. But one who detaches with the body says, body is going through whatever it is. I am that self, ever blissful, ever peaceful, still, calm. Now it all depends on how much are you identifying. If you are identifying with the body, mind, intellect, you will be affected. If you identify with the self, nothing will happen to you. So spiritual practices, use your body, mind, intellect to do good to the world, play your role properly, because that is the karmic consequences will come. You better play your role properly. At the same time, you remember you are not the actor on stage, you are the Supreme Self, Ajaha, Nitya, Shaswataha, Puranaha, something which can never die. Verse 21. Anybody has any question?
वेदा विना अविनाशिनं नित्यं य एनमजमव्ययम् कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कं घातयति हन्तिकम्.
Just one second. He who knows this to be indestructible, eternal, unborn, immutable, how can that man, O Partha, slay anyone or cause anyone to be slain? So, Bhagavan Krishna, Sri Krishna is educating Arjuna, and through Arjuna, he is educating all of us. Don't get egoistic to say, I am killing or I might be killed. He is afraid. He is afraid of the war. He is afraid of killing his guru and all his family members. He is afraid he might be dead. So, Sri Krishna is telling him, beyond the body, mind, intellect, beyond the individuality, your true identity is the self. If you are the self, self is just an inactive witness. It doesn't do anything, nor can you kill it. It is just there. The nature of the self is indestructible. You cannot destroy it. All that you can conceive can be destroyed, but self is indestructible. Self is eternal, we just now covered. Self is unborn, immutable, changeless. So the only thing is indestructible. It is something which cannot be destroyed. Even space cannot be destroyed. I don't know whether you can destroy space. But where is space not there? Space is not eternal. Space is all pervading. Space cannot be destroyed. But space is not eternal. Where is there no space? Where is there no time? In Brahman, there is no space. Brahman is beyond time, space, causation. Brahman is the factor which enlivens, which is put causation in its place. Cause becomes effect. Mango seed becomes a mango tree. Somebody has ordained it, or you can say nobody's ordained it. That's up to you. If you have subtle intellect, you will see cause and effect is functioning with mathematical precision. Not just like that. There is a supreme divine law or power which ensures law of causation is functioning. Brahman is beyond time, space, causation. My question is, where is there no time and space? I'll mentally count 7. As I'm counting, I'll remember God. There is no space and time in deep sleep. Deep sleep, there is only an experience of nothingness. In nothingness, there is no space, there is no causation, there is no um, time. We believe that every night when we go to sleep, I'm waking after 6 hours, 7 hours. Suppose you go into coma and wake up after 18 hours, 18 years or whatever, 20 years or 6 days. You will not know. Others will know. You will not know. For us, it's just one experience of nothingness. In sleep, there is no second experience. You need two experiences to measure sleep, time. So there is no time in deep sleep. There is no space in deep sleep. And deep sleep ends. The moment you go into the dream world or the waking world, deep sleep ends. Brahman is that divine power which enlivens your waking world where you are now. It is that divine power which enlivens your dream world. It is that divine power which makes you conscious of even the deep sleep, nothingness. The Brahman cannot be destroyed, indestructible. Indestructible, eternal, unborn, immutable. So what are we worried about? The more we um, establish ourselves in this thought, early hours in the morning, during the class, whenever possible, whenever the mind is quiet, not all the time. Nobody has to do this 16 hours a day. 8 hours you sleep. In the 16 hours, few minutes, remember you are the self. Contemplate upon the self. And then become a good human being. Indestructible. Myself is indestructible. Myself which enlivens me is eternal. Myself which enlivens me is unborn, changeless. See, a gross person will not attune to it. If you are able to attune to it, it's a great blessing. It will put you in the right direction. Verse 22. Verse 22 needs to be taken up when we are fresh, but it's okay. I'll cover it now and then we'll revise it in the next class.
वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि.
We'll chant it once more.
वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि.
It's a very, very famous verse. Just as a human being casting off worn out garments puts on new ones, so the embodied casting off worn out bodies enters new ones, clearly hinting at reincarnation. And what a relatable example. Relatable example means something we can easily understand. When our shirt, if my shirt is dirty and torn, uh, I will throw this shirt and wear a new shirt. Similarly, the embodied, I have to find out what is that embodied. Embodied casting out worn out bodies enter new ones. Now the embodied is at two levels. Body, what is embodied is that is within the body. When you are coming for this class and when I am talking to this class, we are not interested in our physical bodies. Doesn't matter how you look, whether you are fat or thin, tall or short. You are not interested in my physical body. Neither am I interested in your physical body. But I am interested in you. You are interested in me. That you is your mind and intellect, your thoughts and ideas, feelings. You are interested in what thoughts I have to share. So at a relative level, you are your subtle body, your mind and intellect. The mind and intellect is using the physical body. I'm saying lift the right hand, lift the left hand, put the hands bar down. Body is not doing on its own. Dead body cannot act. What is within the body at a relative level? It is the mind and intellect. At the absolute level, it is the supreme self, the Atman. Now we are not talking about the Atman here. We are talking about so embodied you can take as Atman. But the Atman doesn't do anything. It is everywhere, all pervading. It is eternal. It is indestructible. It is just there. Everything is happening in the medium of Atman. If people say at the time of death, soul moves, soul doesn't move. How can it move? Anything all pervading cannot move. I am moving the glass from here to here. The glass was there, not here, so I moved it. Now I'm moving the glass from here to there. If the glass is all pervading, glass cannot be all pervading. Space is all pervading, space cannot move. Movement is possible from a place where it is to a place where it is not. Atman, Brahman, by definition, in all religions, it is all pervading. Atman doesn't move. Then what is the role of Atman? Everything is happening in the medium of Atman. Remember that. The moment, if I'm telling a story about a fish was born in water, it went to school in water, it went to college in water, it fell in love with another fish in the water, and got married in the water, produced children in the water, then it died in the water. I don't have to keep saying in the water, in the water, in the water. Fish means water. Birds means air, atmosphere. Similarly, whatever is happening to human beings, it is happening in the medium of Brahman, in the medium of Atman, in the medium of self, in the medium of consciousness. So the embodied moves, it is not Brahman that moves. The embodied, uh, just as a man casting off worn out garments, the embodied casting out worn out bodies enters new ones. So the embodied is moving. So definitely not the Atman. Atman doesn't move. So what is the theory? Enlightened people who have gone beyond this realm of ignorance, the realm of relative existence, they have given out this theory. You cannot prove it. Reincarnation cannot be proved. If anybody living in this lifetime, and I hope you are all living in this now only, you're not dead. If you are alive now, how can you talk about what happened before birth or what is going to happen after death? If anybody says there was life before birth, there is life after death, he doesn't know what he's saying. If anybody says I am scientific and there was no birth before death, before there was no life before birth and there was no life after death, he also doesn't know what he's saying. But Vedanta clearly hints at a hints at reincarnation. There is a theory of reincarnation. You cannot prove it. And if you have devotion, you can quote the scripture. Just as a human being changes his shirt, the shirt is dirty, you throw this, wear a new shirt. Next, after the class, if I'm going for a party, I'll not go in this dress, I'll change and wear a new dress. So, embodied, which is me, I throw this dress and pick up a new dress. The embodied is subtle body. Birth and death is happening in every experience. What is life? What is life? Anybody? What is the definition of life? Ravi, what is the definition of life? Or Priyanka, what is the definition of life? Poonamji, what is the definition of life? Hitesh, what is life? I hope all living people are attending this class. What is life? Chetan? Nobody. Life is defined in scriptures as Anubhava Dhara. Anubhava is experiences, Dhara is flow. Flow of water is a river, flow of thoughts is our mind, time between birth and death. Very good. Between the time you're born and between the time of birth and death, we go through experience after experience. Right now, this is an experience. Next experience could be you're having coffee. After that, you're going in a car. Next experience, you're watching a movie. Then next experience, you're having dinner. Next experience, sleep. Life is nothing but a flow of experiences, Anubhava Dhara, experiences constantly flowing. Life, birth, and death is happening in every experience. I am dead in the previous experience, born in the present experience. When this experience ends, I will be dead in this experience, born into the next experience. I was in a room, my bedroom. I'm dead in the bedroom, born in this classroom. Few minutes later, I'll be dead in this classroom, born into the car. Then I'm dead in the car, born into the dining room. Then I'm dead in the dining room, born into the garden. Then I'm dead in the garden, born into my bedroom. So birth and death is happening in every experience. And this movement is happening based on our desires. Take the example of going to a shopping mall. Why are you going to the shopping mall? Because you have a desire to buy something or just do some window shopping and foolishly increase your desires. I go to a shopping mall, I want to buy a watch. So I go to a Titan showroom or a Rolex showroom. Now, will I be in that showroom after I finish buying the watch? No. My desire to buy the watch is over. Next desire is I want to buy shoes. So I go to Nike or Reebok. If I finish buying the shoe, will I hang around there? No. Next desire is I want to buy a shirt. Maybe I go to West Side. I desire finish buying the shirt. Next desire is food. Go to some South Indian restaurant or whatever, Domino's or pizza. Now I'm moving from shop to shop based on my desires. Similarly, based on our desires, we are moving from one experience to another. I won't be sitting here unless I have a desire to take the class. You won't be sitting here unless you have a desire to learn the Gita. So we are moving from one experience to another based on our desire. Sometimes what you desire may not happen. It's not that one particular desire, it is the resultant desire. What is the resultant desire? You see, there's two lines. This this thing is 000. That is where the cursor is. That is, let's say, a ball. When I push the ball from down, the ball will go up. When I push the ball from the side, the ball will go on the side. One force from down, up, one from the side, it will go here. Now, if both these forces are applied simultaneously, one from down, one from side, it's not in opposite direction. The forces are coming from opposite direction, the ball will not move. But if one force from side, one force from bottom, the ball will end up diagonally. There is no force in this direction, but the ball ends up here. This is called the resultant force. What is the resultant you and me are facing now in life? Every moment we are facing our resultant. What is the resultant? I am talking to you, you're listening to me. This is the resultant of your life right now. This is the resultant of my life right now. Every moment we are facing the resultant. Sometimes what you desire and the total resultant, they align. I want to take the class, I'm able to take the class. Suppose I want to take the class and I have to take a bus to come and there's a bus strike. I won't be able to do it. So sometimes what you want and your resultant may not coincide. It's not always possible. What is the resultant? Resultant is the total effect of all your desires plus your karmic consequences. You've done a lot of karma. All that karma you have done, we have to face its consequences, good or bad. That is the role of the divine. Divine is ensuring every cause will become an effect. Kabira says, no, karni kiya to kyun pachtaye, boya peer babul ka, aam kahan se khaye. So all the karmic consequences we have to face. Some we have already faced, some we are yet to face. What is yet to face is called agami. All that you have desired and your karmic consequences, all put together, the resultant is what we face moment to moment. So you are moving from one experience to another experience. You are moving from one environment to another environment based on your desires, or more technically, based on your resultant. The resultant is also net effect of your desires. Whatever you desire with intensity and frequency, all so many desires. Some desires are casual, some desires are repetitive, some desires are powerful, plus the karmic consequences. Some are indifferent actions, some are very good actions, some are very bad actions. All put together, we face the resultant. So what is the embodied? The subtle body. Subtle body decides the gross body and the environment and the embodiment. We are moving from one environment to another environment, one experience from the experience based on our desire, which is the resultant desire. See, I may want to buy an ice cream, I can just buy an ice cream. Now I want to buy a car, but I can't buy the car. I don't deserve it yet. So if you deserve it, you'll go and just buy it. If you have enough money, just go and buy it. Right. So sometimes resultant supports your particular desire. Sometimes it doesn't. You have not done enough karma. Now, when this subtle body needs a change of the gross body, then death happens and you are born into a new body, or the subtle body itself manifests into the new body. So there is reincarnation. I'll not want to complicate it too much. There is a possibility of reincarnation. Otherwise, you will cannot explain why is a child born with a hole in the heart in the slums. Another child is born in opulence, in a palace. What has a child done? The starting points can't be so different, so good for one and so bad for one. Then if you say who has done it, God has done it. God can't be so unfair. We we are born into a particular embodiment, male's body or female's body, butterfly or a deer, tiger or a lizard, based on our resultant desire. If our resultant needs a deer body, we get deer body. If the resultant needs a lion's body, you get lion's body. If the resultant needs a American female body, you get that. If the resultant needs a male Chinese body, you get that. It is all very, very scientific. It is all very, very methodic. It is all very, very scientific. It is not happening at random. It is not happening just like that. If you feel that's happening just like that, then okay, then do whatever you want. You will meet also whatever things will. Basically, you're taking comfort in saying things are happening at random. No, things are not happening at random. That is the stance of Vedanta. Things are happening with mathematical precision. We are moving from one experience to another experience based on a resultant. Even change of the embodiment, the totality of the subtle body decides. See, um, who decides? Who decided that I should wear this shirt? I decided. The shirt without me has no life. I am moving, so shirt is moving. If I remove the shirt will be there is no life in the shirt. Similarly, the subtle body decides which gross body, and without the subtle body, the gross body is dead. What is happening at the time of physical death? The body is there. Body is made up of the Pancha Mahabhutas: fire, water, air, space, and earth. Earth, water, fire, air, and space. So at the time of death, you can clearly see it. Body becomes cold, fire is gone. Breathing stops, air is gone. The fluid starts oozing out, water is gone. Then the body is either burnt or buried. So earth goes back to earth, space the body occupies goes. Atman, Brahman, soul is all pervading. Soul doesn't move. Everything is happening in the medium of soul. Everything is happening in the medium of consciousness. So what has moved? The totality of a mind and intellect. What is death and birth? When the subtle body needs a change of the gross body, it drops this gross body and manifests into that other gross body. This totality of subtle body can also be called as prarabdha. When the prarabdha ends, you die, and then the next set of prarabdha comes up. That will maybe take up in the next class. Don't worry about it. Death is not in your hands. It is the hands of your total. In the sense, death is not in. I may want to kill myself, but if my subtle body wants this body, I will not be able to kill myself. Death is not in your hands. When it is meant to happen, it will happen. When it is not meant to happen, you may try to commit suicide also, you will not be able to kill yourself. 95% of the suicide attempts are a failure. What a statistic. What a statistic. It is very, very sad that people want to commit suicide. It's going through extreme uh, pain, which is sad, which is unfortunate. But you may want to die, but if your subtle body needs this gross body, how much ever you try, you will not be able to. And you may be the world's fittest person, nothing wrong with you. You may die in sleep, you may die in accident when the subtle body needs a change. So the manner of death, timing of death, it's all karma. Subtle body decides a change. Subtle body, and all this is happening in the medium path. Just as a human being casting off dirty clothes puts on new clothes, similarly, the mind and intellect will throw this physical body and get a new body for continuing of your journey. This journey will continue until you exhaust your subtle body. If you exhaust your subtle body, which is your thoughts and desires, you reach Atman, which is a state of absolute thoughtlessness. Spiritual path is about reducing your thoughts, reducing your desires. As long as you have thoughts and desires, you will go through experience after experience. If you don't have a desire for a Ferrari, you will not go to the Ferrari showroom. If you don't have a desire for pizza, you will not go to the pizza showroom. I have no desire to go to Afghanistan. I am not going to stand in line for visa for Afghanistan. No desire, no experience. At the time of death, if you have desires, you will go through Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatadeshayanam. Again, again birth, again and again death, again and again mother, lying in the mother's womb. These words should punch us, give us a punch. Wake up, wake up. Life is an opportunity to reduce our vasanas, reduce our desires, reduce our thoughts, become more pure, become more dynamic, and reach the state of absolute thoughtlessness, which is the self. You can increase your desires and thoughts, or you can reduce it. Karma Bhakti Jnana reduces the thoughts. Okay? Was the audio all clear throughout the class? Poonamji nod. It was clear, no? Okay, great. Thank you. If there are no more questions, we will end the class with the prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you.